On the morning of December 1st, 1948, a man was found dead on an Australian beach, propped against a seawall. He was impeccably dressed in a suit and tie, but every single identifying label had been meticulously cut out of his clothing.
Wait, like someone took scissors to his laundry tags? That doesn't sound like a typical beach day.
It wasn't. For the next 74 years, he would be known only as the Somerton Man, the center of a mystery involving hidden pockets, Soviet spy theories, and a coded message found in a dead man's pants.
Okay, you've got my attention. How does a man with no ID and zero clues become the world's most famous cold case?
The scene at Somerton Park Beach was surreal. This man looked like he had just stepped out of a high-end department store, polished shoes, double-breasted jacket, and a half-smoked cigarette resting on his collar.
So, did he just have a heart attack while watching the waves?
That's what the police thought initially, but the autopsy threw everyone for a loop. His organs were severely congested, and his stomach was full of blood, suggesting a fast-acting untraceable poison.
Untraceable? In 1948? That sounds like something straight out of a James Bond novel.
Exactly! And the weirdness didn't stop there. He had high, well-defined calf muscles and wedge-shaped toes, traits consistent with a professional ballet dancer or someone who lived in pointed high-heeled boots.
So we have a muscular, possibly poisoned dancer with no name tags. Did they find anything in his pockets?
Just some chewing gum, a bus ticket, and a pack of cigarettes that contained a different, more expensive brand of tobacco than the box suggested. But months later, investigators found the real clue, hidden in a secret fob pocket sewn into his waistband.
A secret pocket? Now you're definitely describing a spy.
Inside that pocket was a tiny, rolled-up scrap of paper with two printed words. Tamam shud. It's Persian for it is ended or the end.
The end? That is incredibly dramatic. Where did the paper come from?
It was torn from the very last page of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a book of 12th century poetry. This discovery triggered a nationwide hunt for the specific book that scrap belonged to.
Let me guess. They found the book in a hollowed out tree or a dead drop?
Close. A local chemist came forward saying he found that exact book tossed into the back of his car, which had been parked near the beach the night the man died. On the back cover of that book, police found two things: a phone number and 5 lines of capital letters that looked like a code.
Talk to me about the code. Did they crack it?
Not even naval intelligence could break it. It remains uncracked to this day. But the phone number? That led them to a nurse named Jessica Thompson, who lived just 400 meters from where the body was found.
Finally, a witness. What did she say?
This is where it gets chilling. When she was shown a plaster bust of the dead man's face, she reportedly looked like she was about to faint. She denied knowing him, but her daughter later claimed Jessica was a communist sympathizer who knew exactly who the Somerton Man was.
So the theory was that he was a Soviet spy who perhaps had a secret affair with his nurse, and then got took out by a rival agent?
That was the leading theory for 7 decades. People thought he might have been involved with the nearby Woomera top-secret rocket range. The case became a global obsession because every clue, the removed labels, the untraceable poison, the code, pointed to high-level espionage.
But eventually science caught up, right? You can't hide from DNA forever.
You really can't. Like in 2021, the body was exhumed, but the breakthrough actually came from hair follicles stuck in that old plaster bust from 1949.
DNA from a hair on a mask? That's incredible.
Professor Derek Abbott and genealogist Colleen Fitzpatrick used that DNA to build a family tree of over 4,000 people. They eventually narrowed it down to a man named Carl Charles Webb, an electrical engineer from Melbourne.
So he wasn't a Russian super spy?
It doesn't look like it. Carl Webb was a guy who liked betting on horses and writing poetry. He had disappeared in 1947 after his wife left him and moved to South Australia.
So if he wasn't a spy, why all the secrecy? Why the removed labels in the secret pocket?
That's the new mystery. We now know who he was, but we still don't know why he died. Was he a man in the middle of a mental health crisis trying to find his wife, or did he have a connection to the nurse that he tried to take to his grave?
It's fascinating that even with a name, the story doesn't feel finished.
This case matters because it represents the ultimate triumph of modern science over anonymity. It shows that in our current world, even the most carefully erased identity can be reconstructed from a single strand of hair.
It's like the universe refuses to let anyone truly disappear.
Exactly. Carl Webb spent 74 years as a ghost on a beach, but he's finally back on the map.
What's the one thing to remember about the Somerton Man?
No matter how hard someone tries to delete their past, science and persistence can eventually give a voice back to the silent.
That's Wikipedia. Every story, on demand. Search your next topic at wikipedia.ai.